Yo, what's going on? It's Coach Zachary here. I have a little surprise video for my team at Vortex, and also have a video for my channel. It's gonna be my first upload, or at least one of my first uploads. Definitely based on coaching and doing VOD reviews on this channel. And yeah, I have my little team here, Team Vortex, going up against Void Ravens in the Shadow Division, and we're a tier 3 kind of league. Tier 2. I don't really know the difference, but we take Overwatch very competitively, very seriously. And yeah, we want to be here and take the reins in our division and be better at Overwatch. And I'm here to also not help them, help people outside of the team and outside of Shadow to be better at Overwatch. Overwatch is a really complex yet simple game. I think there's a lot to learn in these type of videos and just in general in Overwatch. All right, let's get into the first match here. We're on our Antarctic Peninsula. We're going up against Dark Crusaders as Team Vortex. Got a really interesting comps that we're fighting against, and we're fighting with. So just to look at some comp identity, we're going to look at our comp. We know that we are a rush style comp. We have the Lucio to help us with the speeds. We have Bap here to help us with the healing, as he can take care of all the team's needs on that end. This is DBS are really good at poking, so we have more of a poke orientated death ball kind of rush style. And of course, last but not least, Ryan with the paralysis of his hammer, does massive damage, great engage tool, and gives space for the team immensely, especially on a poke end. And we're also looking at the enemy team. They're running a similar comp. They are actually rush as well, but more on into the brawl end. They have a Juno to help solidify that kind of status. Her speeds is in parallel. The amount of healing she can provide for her team, and just the fact that it's just like a little bit of a better Lucio in terms of the neutral game. Chose her ult faster, and it just gets up and running for the whole team. The Lucio match is going to be Tracer here. So Tracer Reaper with Moira, a very offensive rush style team. And again, they're on the brawl side, and so Moira makes sense as well to Juno. Don't like the combo, but that's their team. All right, we're going to start this first minute here. We're going out to the right side of the outskirts. Give me 1 second. Definitely a preferred spot versus here. This is just main, and main. It's just, it goes either way, especially if they have a Mei on board. But we decided to choose this outskirts, which is just a beautiful position to take. We got the turret set up. I think that turret's a little too far. You will notice it's in. But yeah, we're gonna let this play out. I'm gonna discuss a bit of micro, macro, fundamentals and things like that as we work through the spot. We are gonna start to notice, as I already watched this before, we're gonna have our tank push up before any massive damage has been really been inflicted to the time. I want to say it's about to get chaotic. We don't prefer this type of chaos, as we are not their comp style. Their comp style is more of a death ball. They serve the death ball a little harder than we do. Our death ball is just when anything gets low, and it's the same for them. Anything gets low, we decide to go in. For their team, it's quite the opposite. It's just they just go in. So when they're not opting into that game plan, and when we're not opting into that game plan, just chaos kind of erupts, and we end up trying to clean up whatever we can, and not the best ways possible. And it's gonna go down here as our team ends up being super split for one person. It's not bad, but we just have to really be here together. Alfar does take a pretty amazing golf angle here. He gets to put pressure on point. Doesn't prefer to be here right now, but It's the pressure his team needs before they actually just recollapse on them, which they should have actually done. They should have just collapsed on either one person. But I guess Juno is the person that serves their speeds is just gone. So a lot of shenanigans going on right now, and we just want to not be a part of it. We want to group up. We want to get yeah, we just want to get our powers going. There's some good angles here. Yeah, just this guy being uncontested. No one wants to have interest in him. Great. And again, we have that more poke-oriented style, so we enjoy just sitting back before we actually take a full engage. Let me see what happened here, as most of this is just getting messy. We are fighting for this first point. We want to really cap it. So, okay, we're gonna opt into that. But we just have to be mindful and be careful of many things. Ends up having too much of an uptime without shield. Ends up getting smoked. Hell tries to go for a quick, not Hell, Nugget tries to go for a quick interaction there. Ends up failing, and we're gonna end up perishing down. So now, okay, they're gonna get the point, but we had a good early fight. We gave you guys take the ultimate charge. They're also down on ultimate, the Moira. So now we're gonna be basically up on them. Our next combo we want to think about is the Baptiste and the health Sojourn combo. Sojourn just needs some type of buffing. Well, there's two characters to Sojourn's ult, especially in this current patch. You need to be buffed in some shape or form. Mercy, Blue Beam, and Nano, Baptiste wall, right? You just get maximum efficiency. It's double damage, or you know, whatever how much damage you're getting. And it's just great to dish out, not dish out damage, but you know, you're gonna start popping heads. So we need that combo on board. We need probably need the Lucio to speed us into his position where we want to best use that ultimate. I think it's gonna be right here. It could be anywhere in this sightline slash not doorway, but lanes. These lanes, whatever it is, we just want this set up. However you want to do it, it could be right now. It's just whoever we can see, but mostly the width of the people we can see. So definitely right here is just the best spot where Ryan's sitting at currently. Get the right side view and you get the left side view. So great turret placement right here. Although I think it's going to lose its value since we know the plan is to start to push out here. No one's going to contest this in this short, I would say this in this POV. No one's going to contest this in this short line of sight. I think you can do as Torb, especially in a rush comp, you gotta just figure out what is the next new backline. This is the old backline. This is good if we're gonna retreat, but it's not good if we're gonna actually like look for a push, look for pressure, look for space. As I'm gonna get back into what we're gonna see here. A lot of mishaps. Reaper ends up going up in the sky with his ult, and he has bubbles, so he's not going to die anytime soon. But we do make a missed call here to just engage pretty rawly. You don't have too much of an initiative. Yeah, Moira's getting low, but she's just Moira. She's going to leave. So we need more swing pressure, and we can't really opt in to look for a charge. No charges, it could be nice, but you're going to lose too much out of it. You're already half HP. You're now breaking your team's backline, creating a new front, and the front isn't that good because now we cross this corner and we cut off all access to support and healing. Damage can't really keep up. We do get the solo Sojourn ult here, therefore opting out of the Baptiste plan, which is it's okay. But honestly, in a way, I think a better plan would be to take the Lucio, take the Bap, and take Sojourn and just do this off angle together. We can just leave the tank alone, or we can have Nugget actually on the side on his own alone. He can hold down this angle. This turret will look even better, because our team allows us to split pressure and still commit and still kind of be in that rush form fashion. Tony doesn't always have to be with us. He can use his strengths to hug a corner, hit people while he's just getting healed in his corner. And anytime he needs to come back to you guys, he can do so. Is it working out? And again, like the enemy team is not playing to their best capabilities. They're not death balling us. So we're gonna find some advantages in our poke post style. And I guess I could say it's just like normal rush. Ooh. So yeah, this ult, it's way too not selfish. The spacing alone, it's a good time to use the ult, but the spacing alone is making it just worse. We do have our full team here. So yeah, it just really came down to how this ult was placed, and the fact that Tony did overstep his boundaries as his team was not ready to actually be set here. So it's really important to turn around, really important to see that, yeah, I don't want to actually commit or even be here, because, so yeah, when we get to this half of the map, we're going to call this the gray zone. This gray zone is always up for grabs. It's the neutral point of the match, and even signifies here on in a game, like, yeah, you don't want to be past this line if your team is not ready. Team's not ready, you go back. But if your team is ready, you start to look and push forward. Then we got to think about our green zone. This is where we're comfortable being at. Then we got to think about the red zone. This is where we shouldn't be too comfortable being at, because this is room for the enemy to make interpretations and make plays, punish us for overstepping our boundary again, right outside of the gray zone, which we have captured. So now this is technically green. It's now our zone, but we can only hold it for so long if the enemy team is like respecting or favoring us. So if we're back here, which look, our two teammates are at, it's much safer. It's just much safer inherently to just be there, while Tony is pushing up too far, resulting in his absolute death. Yeah, I'm gonna let this play. Tony does go down. Let's goes down. We don't have good ults here, and as soon as we have like a failing fight, like especially just everyone knows this wall failed. Now it's just no longer needed to waste our ults here. We end up losing our turbo ult, and now we're back to a really bad reset. Now we have to fight our way back in, because if we're all tracking, we know that, yeah, Zarya hasn't ulted yet. We prodigious ult, but he's going to be coming up again, and yeah, such and such like that, and more next, right? So now we're down in ult economy. We do have our little saving grace, which is the Lucio, and Lucio now plays an important part to this next team fight. Lucio can block a lot of things. She can stop Zarya's ult. She can stop Reaper's ult. A lot of tempo she can stop, especially the Tracer as well. You can just eat that bomb up. And against Juno, you actually have quite an advantage, as, I mean, she does more damage in her ult and ultimately more healing out of it versus B, technically, but B, she's good against burst, but her ult's good against sustain. And what I know of us, we are pretty bursty. We have a lot of poke guys. We have, I don't even have to say it, and we got to swap here to the Reaper, so it's just good stuff. We're gonna go to the side here. Something good to opt into, but you're gonna notice a common trend we have here. It's just it's too sudden or too split of a decision. Plus, our Sojourn isn't even ready to take advantage of this display that's gonna happen here. This rotation play. Sojourn can opt into just going back here to the sidelines, or she can come with you guys. As of right now, doesn't need to technically come with you guys, but there is a problem. Because if Sojourn is going too early and you guys are still sitting up, they can just opt in to just killing Sojourn. I don't think this is a great idea, as they are completely not interested in her, so therefore it will be fine. Otherwise, I think you get deleted because they're gonna just go chase you, send a trace on you, and you should be donezo. But they don't opt into it, so it ends up being a beautiful off angle, and you end up avoiding the ults here. Honestly, we are gonna die. There's no way around it. And on top of that, we end up using a lot of Mensa's utility because we had this sudden break, and it just made her lose us so much. Something you have to keep in mind of, Rush just likes to have these slow characters, 1, 2, 3, because we can just enable them with speeds. So once they're not truly enabled with speeds and protection, it starts to look rough for them. And this is why this little mishap happened. They found an opening. Mensa was just slightly far too back, and it just ends up costing two cooldowns. Now we're looking back too late, too sudden, and it just messes up the whole thing. Yeah. Let's skip through this a little bit and see what else is happening. All right, so I'm gonna get into the micro now. I admire their first hand charges, but sometimes doing a first charge is not that great. You end up losing a lot of your armor, which again, that's what the armor is for. When you're doing these type of plays, you're gonna lose all that armor in return for possibly a kill. But I think there's an even better way to do that. And it's just like, if people are in your hammer range, they're also in your charge range. And with that same ideal, you will have a shorter engagement with your charge. Like, instead of this long, down the lane charge from here to all the way back here, why not start with using your hammer, cut this corner, use this angle instead to get a shorter charge, charge, right? Shorter charge range. Charge here, possibly get the block. Your team still sees you. You don't have to go around this corner, because that would be bad. Everybody was kind of ready. And again, this guy's not ready, so we might be going in a little too early. And we do get the knee-jerk reaction from our Lucio. And this is something we've been talking about, but Lucio does not like to go in first. If he goes in first, he will die first, or he'll back up first. And it's just seen pretty harshly right here. We also do ignore this huge backline threat that can destroy all of us, and we don't pay his respects. So end up falling, end up getting the late beat because this is a knee-jerk reaction, shock factor, in other words, and now we're on a deficit. We're going to try to win this fight. Like, ends up going too early here, or too far forward. I would say doesn't get the true kiting from Lucio. Let me see. Yeah, Lucio's just going too far and about, but meanwhile, you also are going too far and about. Therefore, you're just gonna perish here. Do get the trade, which is pretty nice. Hopefully, we can still work on that as we do get the cap point here. But yeah, it just seems like we're gonna fall here. So yeah, I'm gonna pause it now as we're gonna lose this. And in this whole this whole I'm not trying to say match, but this round it just died due to 3 things, I would say. 1, we played too fast. We ended up not getting our teammates all ready and set up. 2, we know we're playing rush, but we're also not respecting, or at least having like a little neutral interaction with the enemy team. Things like putting iron shield up before we actually start an engage. Getting our poke out. We're not following our rules in our team comp. Every rush comp has its different rules. That's why it's so complex and really versatile. And we just want to be mindful of those things and be careful about it. Anything that does not function like as a group, or some type of plan, it will just collapse on us. And I'm going to talk about how that plan works here with this new comp, this new rush we have here. Because we have the change with the Ram instead of Ryan, and we have the change for Farah instead of Soj. We also do have the Cass, which she was previously Reaper and Torb. So yeah, let's get into this one now. And I think I didn't mention 3. 3 would be we only took one clean or good fight. I mean, that was at the beginning of the match. But after that, every fight after that was just we collapsed to just, I guess, negligence, like the back window going too far, the little things like that. Micro just killed us in that round. So we only had one good fight, while the enemy has good 3 good fights, good contests, stuff like that. So, all right, let's see how this one goes now. All right, okay. We do opt into the Juno, so that's going to be pretty good here. As Juno just offers more healing than the Lucio, while Lucio just offers more speed and aggression than the Juno. Let's not just play out. Getting some good shots here. I think Juno should probably die, but we might have just missed that mark. So let me explain a macro real quick. I think our pathing is not the best, as we're taking a more passive left side angle. This side is not really for much. Maybe if you want to flip the map, that's a lot better of a plan. But if we're here to contest high ground and just to contest against them, aka contesting high ground, this is not it. We should just go set up right here. Again, play that neutral game. It's the middle of the map. Get my pen out. This is the gray zone that we're trying to fight for. And again, we know our side is that green zone and their side is the red zone. So at this moment, with this gray zone being present, we're looking to take this space up here, especially up here, right? This is what we want to conquer in that gray zone, as they're still like getting this side, right? So we're gonna get into it. And now we're deciding to like, yeah, okay, actually I want this side, but we took the wrong path. Because we just took this simple wrong pathing, now they're getting most of that gray zone. And they know, like, oh my God, they gave up the gray zone? We're gonna go to fucking take it from them and actually take their mega room too, which is super important for us. And essentially we are opting into giving it up. I understand this kill you're trying to go for here, hell, but I don't understand the off angle as much. You could offer a flank, that's okay, but I think it's just best to start this fight, just pressuring out damage, relieving the space, and helping your team here too. So now we're in a predicament where, okay, we can't move. What do we do? I don't know what you do. I think you just stay here. You got to find your space. You do have an amazing team comp, so you can find out what you can do to reconquer and get back your gray zone. Again, I don't think their team is playing that well. They're not opting into their death ball kind of style. They're just playing poke with really small range characters. So I don't know what's going on with them, but we're going to start to find our stride as we're finding a way to poke in. Do see a mistake happening here. Again, we mentioned we don't like this off-angle pressure. And again, we don't even like being alone. Cass is just he's running out of options. He doesn't know what to do. Probably should, it's just best to stay right here and hit your heads, but choosing this far off angle without support and without even maybe calling it is a death sentence. As Tracer just fish you out, doesn't care about your E. Someone else can also finish you off. And Tracer can just re-enter as well and yeah, kill you. We also have this going on. This is very, very, very bad. We don't have any of our DPS in line with us, as we actually do find some type of kill here. Must have been a fluke, as Reaper did not fade or anything like that. Pretty sure he had it. Yeah. So we end up finding a fluke. We end up finding a breakthrough, and we end up giving the breakthrough we just had, and we let Zarya take over our 2 supports, leading into I'd assume a sudden death. Yeah, and it's just messy. So we're back in our green zone. They're taking a lot of space from us. Now this is the new line, like the threat line. I don't want to make a mark for this, but anything on our side is green, but this side is red. They have control. So now we have to fight for those red spaces that are no longer gray. If anything, like our green zone is now turning into a gray zone more and more as these guys are looking to pressure us. Again, they should be death balling into us, but they're not opting into it. So we end up, recapturing some space and checking in with some micro. Good block off with the E, going for some punches. Great. End up finding a pick. We end up committing to our rush style, and we benefit from it. Try to choose one target here. Yes. I was going in for off angle pressure. Let me check back on this, because again, it's a notion that I don't know if you actually had to be here or do this. I didn't see this death. I remember this death happening, but sadly ignoring it this time. But yeah, you're just too far into the enemies now to be seen red zone. Because remember, now this is the red zone. Anything on this side, so this is overextending. You're also in a gray zone in terms of our green area. Can't be there. So now back to hell. What's making you commit to this off angle? Don't have any alts. Your alt's not even near charged, so it just makes more sense to just group up with the death ball that we have going. I'm gonna overuse that term a lot, don't mind it. But we know our comp likes to be grouped. Currently, this is a good off angle. You have good pressure space, but again, I don't know if you just need to be here. What? Their comp doesn't even like to attack you, as they don't have a lot of range. Simply just being in the air above covering the team, make sure you're getting maximum support, and kill potential is just on your side. So opting into this opts into a 1v1 Tracer, which you can win, but I don't think you just want to do that. I'm getting a breakthrough. We end up hunting 2. So now it just also just not saying it doesn't matter, but it's less impactful. Gonna end up perishing here. We're gonna end up trying to save as well, but I don't think there's any way to save you. Maybe a BAP lamp, more than likely. But again, I don't think that position was too great. Right now we should opting to clean it up. We know this guy's going up here. I don't know if we should chase, because once you're really up here, you're kind of safe. Honestly, you're kind of safe. You can just go left and leave. But that leads into my idea of like, why not just go push this space now and pressure something else. Either or, we just need to choose one. Because soon enough, we're gonna choose to go to this right side eventually. But it's like, yeah, we should have been there already. We're also we're gonna need to wait for our ferrets come back as well. Ferrets come back, and that's just hovering in the airspace that we needed it to be in. No harm, no foul. Like, doesn't need to go for crazy on our off angle. Do get some good picks here, and we fall through. Nice. Okay, now back to a little macro. So now we took over the gray spaces, and we're looking to push our new green space. This is basically our side. Remember, just like the other side. Anything that goes on there is something we can do, and technically to the left of it is the gray space. We have a lot of ultimates, so we can opt into being pretty aggressive here, as we chose to not to be aggressive and make very selfish or solo Tennessee plays. As this one's about to happen, as it is unfortunate, I don't think it should have happened as well. Let's see what happens. I think Reaper comes to kill you. And again, it's like these 5 to 10, 15 seconds, why aren't we opting into taking our new green space and putting out pressure as they're coming out of spawn? We can take any team fight as they can too, but we want to not fight at sight, because the fastest way to capture this point for them is to fight you guys on site. And that's just a beneficial advantage for them taking back into the gray spaces they need to take over, or in other words, the red space, or the red space that we have for them. Hope that makes sense. So yeah, we're gonna look for some initiative. Yeah, Hell gets sneaked here. Very, very, very unfortunate. But again, these kind of corners are, you're kind of expecting, or you're kind of accepting something to possibly go wrong. Whatever it is, we don't like the outcome. Cree's gonna find a stride here. Possibly an early ult, as Juno would have died there anyways. You just can't be in the sky like that. Good ult nonetheless, you got one pick. Now we have Hell coming back. We have Bap dead, unfortunately. Bap also just in the wrong spot, because when we're thinking about, so now let's think about us being defensively as Hell is dying. We have to start thinking about, okay, I can't actually stand here anymore because these avenues are open. I can't defend anything that comes to this next corner. So as soon as this corner is peak, what can you do? Nothing. So you do have to opt into backing up. You have to start sensing like, all right, we're deciding not to push or anything like that. We need to start sending guys back here. Baptiste definitely should be back here, if not down in the staircase. Juno should just be in the air or just not close at all. Same with Baptiste, right? And Nugget can stay up this high ground. He can be positioned right here. He can be positioned down here. He just cannot be in the midst of everything that's going on right now. We're gonna lose one. And now we just gotta start thinking as well, like, yeah, I burned my ults. That probably shouldn't have happened, even though we're gonna try to turn around this fight. Not bad. And we ended up recovering. So can't say anything about it. I don't think the enemy team even played that right as well. They had a full advantage and they lost it. So again, we have this advantage now. Point is, so essentially whenever point is around 70-80%, this is the last team fight for the enemy team. If they don't win, they're gonna lose. Or if they find, yeah, that's just the simplest way to say it. If they don't win, they're gonna lose this next team fight. So we need to start opting into pushing. We just want to push. We know this guy's low too. We know this guy's low. And again, our rule is anything that gets low, anything that is not advantageous for the enemy team, we need to take advantage of it and pummel them through. So Reaper's fading out. He's getting low. And his team, we know his teammates are not up yet. We're too comfortable here, and we're going into a defensive stance, therefore possibly leading or giving the enemy team the initiative that they want, while we don't take initiative. body language is showing that we're just reacting. And again, this off angle here, I don't know if it's feasible enough because there's a lot of people that can not care about your ultimate. There's a lot of people that can just not care about you in general, especially when you're off alone. Yeah, you will get challenged or chased. Maybe good for a solo or two. As you are pretty elusive, you don't make a lot of sound. I just think the whole team should opt in into taking a good team fight here, at least at this corner. This is the best fair angle, like spot for ult, right? She just wants to do something here. She has cover on the wall. Meanwhile, over here is just way too open. It's just not really the greatest, but you need some support with that ult. At best, you have back lamp. And I also do understand that how you're going here because, again, yeah, your team is too passive for you to even really want to be here. You're not going to get a good chance for your ult. So although I favor this for your ult, I don't favor it in general because it's not going to end up working out. Not trying to put correlation because of causation, but again, it's just everyone's dead. Probably had to say into the Reaper. Your presence just being here has to say a lot of things because you do the most damage per shots. I think Cass has a higher DPS, but still, you're both high damage guys. You need to soften up the team so tank and possibly the supports can actually clean them up as well. Okay, we're at 99%. We didn't opt into that offensive stance, so now we're gonna walk it back. And now we're gonna look at our side. The enemy has 50%, so we have at least 2 to 3 fights to be had here. Let's see how it goes off. No nuggets coming up. Let's see our positioning. We seem to be ready for a fight, and we do notice that the enemy team's not even here, so it seems like it's a neutral moment again. And in this neutral moment, there's mistakes that's happening already. We have Juno on points, which I know we're at 99%, and it since it looks great, but this is not exactly the play. I don't think it should even be here. It should just be more in your backline and let tank do this kind of job. Or if not, someone more elusive than you. I'm thinking a little bit real quick. But I think our next course of action is, again, back to the basics. We need to go take over high ground before we actually fight for the point. We don't care about the point. The point is more of a taunt / bait, and it has nothing to do with us winning the next fight. And yeah, it works. Look how many of them left high ground instead of opting in to just fight you guys. Yeah, the point was threatening and taunting enough, and it worked, but we don't need to do it. We don't need to do it. And that time we spent doing it is now going to be transferred into this Zarya ults. Lazy does end up going down. Damn it. I think you hold her a little longer here as Cass, because you know you're not going to die. You know, Lamp is out. Ramp can actually still protect you too. And a lot of guys are scared, but it's definitely a jerk reaction. We didn't get enough information on our peripherals. We didn't look left or right. Just keep threatening people. And again, we just want this high ground. As Hell does get the high ground, it gets the massive advantage here on the people hiding. Yeah, even holding it all a little stronger or longer would end up resulting in these guys being forced to die here, which they still are. Jersey's got hurt and she tries to leave, and we're starting to now trying to last this fight out. How do we last this fight out? A couple things. This is probably gonna suck right now, as this kill was great. I think Hell just opts into going back on the high ground here to maximize his high ground potential, as no one can really poke at him and take him out of the sky. When we still have her BAP here, it'll make it easier for her to heal on this platform and heal the tank as well. Let's go back into some micro here. We're starting to fail in that aspect as hell does go down. We're okay right now. We have Nemesis form. Now we have that like 34-second combo potentially here, as it's going to be looking into the last fight. So two things as well, because we didn't actually win this fight. Like after Hell dies, we have to start thinking about, do we want to opt out and take the next 20% to win the next fight? So it's now or never. Either we take the extra chance or we're just all in now and see what happens. Going into the Zarya like that makes Nugget even more vulnerable target. Probably should have opted out going back here instead of Reaper and just won't be wanting him. You have the Baptiste. Ends up not actually working out. Baptiste doesn't have anything left. The Hell does go down after 2 trades actually. So it's looking great. It's a 3v3 especially. Now it turns into a 2v2. So now this duo here needs to make sure they're safe and alive. Mensa does overstep her boundaries, pushing too far into the staircase, whereas this place has more space and care for her. She can still wait for her team to come back. And even if this happens here now, she just starts opting out to leaving, as Juno is going to start protecting her. It's a bit of a timing issue there. And now back to Tony. Tony needs to make sure he's outlasting as much as possible, as he can have the opportunity to do so. And as he sees Juno coming back, I'll say this is a good call. I think me personally would have tried to keep, I would punch block for sure. And I'll try to keep my form as long as possible. I know you have to refresh your armor, and it's just better to do it that way. But you know Juno's coming, so just make it last as long as possible. You're gonna be fine. You do end up ulting a little early. You're gonna ult anyways in 3 seconds, so it's fine. And looking good, looking good, looking good. We just have to make sure our back isn't getting destroyed by anybody, especially the Reaper, especially the Tracer a little bit. I'd say that the Reaper more and foremost. Then of course Zarya at some point. We don't want that damage onto our back. Seeing some inefficient punch blocking. As that bugs a little bit there. And now your back is starting to get exposed. But you have to remember, you don't actually have to like currently be on points. As 95% is approaching, anything after 95%, so starting at 96 to 99, you proc overtime. So with that knowledge in mind, you're procking overtime at this current moment. You need to start protecting your back as much as possible, no matter what. Ooh, end up making not the best play there in terms of micro movement, as Juno does go down due to her mispositioning here as well. Same thing with Bap, and it's crazy that Bap is dead right here to kind of signify, please stand here. This is your last hope. don't go down there, because that's how I died. Now it's going to be shown again why you shouldn't do anything. You shouldn't play up. As you're getting a good missiles here, you just got to make sure you're still safe. Now you're in range of Zarya. Now you're in range of Tracer, Reaper, possibly even Moira. Pretty much everybody. Everybody can actually tag in on you and make sure you're dead, because you're just down there. Remember, this is a gray zone. We're fighting in the gray zone. And characters like this prefer to just be in a safe green zone, because we don't have anything too much going on to truly contest this gray zone. End up perishing, end up not really using our movement. We also have Nugget here going for a really good high ground off angle, but it comes back to, again, I think we just prefer our little gray zone, so we make sure everyone's protected. We make sure Tony's back is protected. Give Tony pressure. Also, just like taking this route, it'll take a while. It'll take a while to really set up and be here, versus just setting up everybody else coming over here and staying up here in our green zone. This is more like positioning and macro fundamental 101, especially pathing as well, and it ends up not working to our favor as Dark Crusaders take the round in the match. Yeah. So yeah, definitely some core things to identify. We must make sure we know about these zones that we're trying to fight for, and just it seems like we just had lack of fight planning and personal what I guess due diligence to upkeep our team fights. That's the best way to really explain it. Anything outside of that is just player skill, player error. Of course, those things can be fixed. So hopefully this video will make you guys see what you can do better, especially on these first control maps. They're very good to start off the map, and also just getting the warm up, getting the first round off, the first match off. It just boosts morale, and it gives you a good start into the next match after. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this. Definitely check this out, study this, see what we're doing wrong and what we can do better as a team, and now we can actually call out for each other because we know what's right and wrong.